Good afternoon. I'm Mayor Rich O'Connor. I'm here today to talk to you about coronavirus. Obviously, this is what you've been hearing about nonstop every day for probably about the last month. I especially wanted to follow up on the decree that was put out this morning by Governor Evers and to try to give you some type of idea exactly what's going to happen at the city level relative to the services that we provide to you. I'm hoping that somehow I can bring some comfort to you to know that there is some normalcy in your lives, and that normalcy is going to be delivered through the services that we provide here at the city. The one thing that all of my department heads wanted me to impart to everyone is that we are trying to maintain low personal contact. You'll probably see that if you try to engage with any of our city employees in any one of the departments. That's important, and it's an important way to stop the spread is through low personal contact, and you, of course, hear that on a regular basis. I'm going to take you through each one of the departments. We had a meeting this morning. I meet and talk with our department heads on a regular basis, especially with the unfolding of what we're seeing here nationally. So I'm going to start with our water utility. Our water utility is run by Kip Peters. We have excellent water in the city of Hudson. That won't be affected at all. We will continue to provide excellent quality of water. I think it's also important to note that water delivery will be unaffected and will continue. Kip has asked me one thing though. He asked if I would mention to people, please do not flush your non-flushable wipes down the toilet. Those non-flushable wipes create a lot of havoc with our system. They're clogging our pumps, clogging our pipes, and perhaps they're already clogging the pipes at home if you've been using the toilet to dispense of those wipes. So please help us out with that regard. We'd appreciate it. Next up is our ambulance service. I want everybody to know our ambulance service has not been affected by this. We had an increase in runs last month, but it was an anomaly. This month we're back to normal, and that increase wasn't significant, but this month we're back to normal. Our labor force is strong there, and we have a lot of people being platooned so that they're not being in contact with one another, so that they can deliver the ambulance service to our residents without a lot of concern about the spread of this virus between the workers that are driving our ambulances, our paramedics. I think you'll hear that as a consistent theme as well as platooning of our workforce to try to keep a lot of interaction to a minimum in the different departments. Our police department, very few changes there. Again, low contact with people is the mantra that's being spread by our police chief and throughout the department. That's critical. Trying to limit contact is very important. Of course, what this means is that a lot of the activity can be done by telephone as well as online. I think we should note that in particular property offenses can be reported online instead of necessarily calling a police officer to come out to take a report. If you could do that, that would be very helpful. I also want to point out that Chief Willems, in his prescience, believed that this virus was going to be a serious concern to us back in January. And when he heard about it, he immediately started to order personal protection equipment for his officers. And in particular, he ordered the N95 masks that can help prevent the spread of any disease. And we got a sufficient quantity such that he, being the chief, has already provided the hospital with some of the excess masks that he had. So he's been able to help out in that regard. Next up is our fire department. Chief St. Martin has told us that there are no real changes that need to be made. He is platooning his folks among the fire trucks that we have, again, to try to keep separation between the crews so that we don't have everybody coming down with the virus all at once should it hit a department. Chief St. Martin is having weekly meetings with the county, as well as weekly meetings among all of the other chiefs in the surrounding municipalities. If I may back up a moment, I think it's also important to note that Chief Willems is doing the same thing. He is having regular meetings with the health department as well as the county and surrounding chiefs. Last week we did have a couple fires. The chief wanted me to note that in this discussion, and those were contained rather readily. Next is Public Works and Parks. Probably the biggest change that you've seen with the Parks Department is that the decree from Governor Evers was that all playgrounds will be shut down, and that has happened in the city now. And those playgrounds will be posted warning people that they should not be utilizing that equipment. So please bear that in mind, and if you could keep your kids away from the playground equipment, it will help not to spread the disease to them and into your homes. As far as Public Works is concerned, all projects will continue as scheduled. It will not affect any of the projects that we have scheduled at all. In community development, what we want you to know is that all inspections will continue as planned, as well as construction will continue. So when you see people on construction sites, about the only thing that should be different there is social distancing. But the construction projects will continue as planned, and the governor has declared that construction workers are essential workers, so you will see them on site. Probably the biggest change that everyone's going to see is that City Hall is closed. And what that means is that it's closed to the public. We still have city staff here working, and they too are being platooned. But if you need to get into City Hall, if there is somebody here that you need to speak with, that you need to see, if you would please call 715-386-4765. Again, 715-386-4765. You will be able to set an appointment and have somebody meeting you at the door that can let you in. So we want you to know that all of the departments will be working throughout this crisis, and that you will have access to the city departments as needed. That brings us to elections. Governor Evers has said that we will continue with the scheduled election for April 7th, Tuesday, April 7th. But I guess there are some limitations. So first of all, the number of absentee ballot requests is up significantly. We have received over 2,000 absentee ballot requests. And to put that into perspective, there are about 6,000, maybe a little bit more, up to 7,000 registered voters. So a good chunk of the people have already decided to request an absentee ballot and vote by absentee. That is a smart thing to do. Again, that phone number that I gave you, 715-386-4765, can help accommodate that. Our city clerk's office can help you with information that you might need to be able to vote absentee. Let me say this also, that you can vote early. Early voting started yesterday, and it's right here at City Hall. In order to do that, once again, you have to call to make an appointment. Many of you have come in to vote early in the past. You know it's a very convenient way to vote. You know that it avoids the lines, avoids a lot of contact with a lot of people. So if that's something that you would continue to like to do, please, once again, call 715-386-4765, and our staff here can accommodate that wish for you. You can also register to vote the same way. And you can make the appointment, come down here, register to vote, and then vote at the same time. You are able to do that up until Friday, April 3rd. And after that, the only way you can vote once absentee balloting is closed and early voting is closed is to come to the polls on Tuesday, April 7th, probably the least desirable way of voting right now, but many people believe that that's the way they've done it all their lives and they want to continue to do it that way, and that's fine. We have taken severe precautions to make sure that the polling places are cleansed, and after everybody votes, the voting booths will be wiped down. after each individual votes, the voting booths will be wiped down for the next person. There will be wipes available, and there will be social distancing so that we can protect not only the people that are coming in to vote, but also our city staff. I would also like to note this, that the Faith Community Church is a polling, or has been a polling place in the past, and they have requested that they be let off the hook. I guess better way of saying it maybe is that they've requested that we not use them as a polling place, and that affects council districts 2 and 6. They have traditionally voted at Faith Community Church. That polling place for those council districts will now be the old fire hall right across the street from City Hall. So remember that. Faith Community Church is no longer the place to be voting on Election Day. Instead, you'll be voting, for those people that vote there, you'll be voting at the old fire station. Also, anybody that has an absentee ballot, you can either mail them in, but we have also assigned the box that people pay their utility bills in as a drop box for absentee ballots, so you can bring them down here and drop them off. I want to point out that the library is also closed, but the good news is that the librarians down there are doing their best to bring a virtual library to all of us here that are part of the joint library. And part of what they're doing is an online story time, and that's on YouTube. So if you would, please go online, go to the library website, go to YouTube. I think also the Hudson Area Library Foundation Board has their Facebook page up, and I think you can access the story time through that Facebook page as well. So kudos to the library staff for trying to keep our kids in town entertained while we work our way through this problem. One last thing, or one of the last things I guess that I want to talk about, is that we had a very, very productive, very interesting phone call, teleconference the other day. Councilmember Bill Alms has taken the lead in trying to provide communication between, or coordinate communication between all of the organizations that provide services to our people here in this Hudson and the surrounding areas, as well as some of the businesses. The support organizations that were on that phone call, there were 20 of them. It included the YMCA, United Way, XL Energy was there, the Chamber of Commerce and manufacturing representative, Operation Help, our faith community was there, 4 or 5 of the churches were there. I think I mentioned there were 20 organizations. I know that I'll miss some of them. I have them all listed. But please, I think the takeaway from this is that we're trying to coordinate the services that each one of these entities, service entities provides, and provide a centralized location for people that are in need, whether it's food, whether it's mobility to try to get around to different places, to pick up drugs, pick up prescriptions, food, any of the essentials. These are the organizations that you can reach out to that can help you. And what we decided is that the best place is to call 211. Many of you may know about the service, 211. Just dial 211 and there will be people there 24/7 to direct you to the right place for the right need, and know that there are people there to help you out. Thank you, Bill Alms, for taking the initiative for this. He did a great job, and this group will be also meeting by teleconference on a weekly basis. I think one last thing I want to say is that we've got a lot of people that are putting themselves in harm's way to make sure that our lives are protected. I know that throughout the country, throughout the world, there are different things, different activities that are taking place as a routine to thank those people. Maybe we'll do that at some point in time, but for now, I'm asking that you take a certain time out of the day, dinner time perhaps, maybe when you get up in the morning, maybe before you go to bed at night, and just thank all of those people that are working to protect you, protect me, and to protect our families. And of course, they include our doctors, our nurses, all of our medical staff, all of our EMS staff, all of the people out there that I just mentioned that are part of the delivery system to provide services to the needy. They're all putting themselves in harm's way to make sure that you and our community are protected and secure. Please take time out of your day to just mentally thank them. And maybe we'll find another way to do that. But we need to get through this first. But we all need to be very thankful for the people that are out there trying to protect us right now. I'm available. You can reach me here at City Hall. They have my number as well. If you need me, if you need any of the city staff, once again, call 715-386-4765. And hopefully at some point in the not too distant future, I will be back to give another update. And hopefully we will have continuing good news for everyone. But in the meantime, please be well and stay safe. Thank you very much.